What does a spotlight or a flashlight have to do with my success? Everybody, this is Zachary Beach, smartrealestatecoach.com. Welcome to another Motivational Monday. Hope you're not in the slumps here. I know it's Monday. Let's get you fired up. Let's get you moving. Recently at the QLS live event, I was explaining to everyone that came about my experience in the morning leading up to the event. Many of you know that I'm into health and fitness, and I like to go for runs in the morning, especially early in the morning when it's dark out. It's just very peaceful, it's calming. What I noticed on this run is that it was extremely dark. And what I had to use was a flashlight from my cell phone. And many of you know if you've used a flashlight on your cell phone, it's not very bright. So what it came down to is that I was barely able to see my foot as I was taking each and every stride. I had to constantly look down, look forward, look around in order to see where the heck I was. So this tiny little flashlight was just allowing me to see what the next step was, and then the next step was, and the next step was. Now, going through life that way isn't that easy. When you are just barely knowing what the next step is, in hoping that your step after that is not a bad one. It's not leading to some sort of catastrophe. Maybe a rock there where you can roll your ankle. Or maybe you're running off course and all of a sudden you run into a tree. So what I realized was that if I had a bigger light, I would have more clarity about where I was going. If I had one of those headlamps, I would be able to see the next foot, 2 feet, 5 feet, 10 feet, maybe 100 yards in front of me. So that way I was super clear about where I was going, and that I knew for a fact that I was not going to roll my ankle on a rock, or I was not going to run off my path and run into a tree. This may sound a little comical, but it's unfortunate that many of us are running through life with this baby little flashlight from your iPhone, and that we're just barely seeing our feet hit the ground. When all we need to do is just upgrade our light, that way we can get more clarity upon where we are going in life. Now, I explained this at the event because it was very clear to me that if I was able to, or if our team was able to, our certified coaches were able to be your spotlight, that you would clearly be able to see how you can become a millionaire, or how you can create more free time in your life, or how you can buy your own property through terms when you didn't think you could become a homeowner, or how you could be able to, impact lives around the world, or maybe just in your local region to create a better world for everybody. I just knew at that time it was so clear to me that we could be your spotlight. And that it was so clear to me that if you just invested in upgrading from a tiny little flashlight to a massive spotlight, that there's no doubt in my mind that you are going to be able to change your life. And if anything, be extremely clear on what the next step is. So how does a flashlight and a spotlight, how does that affect your success? Well, it affects everything. If you're not clear about where you're going, if you're not clear about your next steps, if you're not clear about, how to change or make the change, then success doesn't exist. Now, the worst thing that could happen is right now, you could barely see your feet through your flashlight. And the worst thing that could happen is you could run into that tree. And maybe it's going to take you running into that tree in order to decide that you need a bigger spotlight. Now, I hope that's not the case. I'm hoping that this Monday you realize that you need a spotlight. Not only do you need a spotlight, you need a big freaking spotlight. Because there's no reason for you to continue to squint at your feet. Not when there's tools and people in a community that are willing to be that spotlight for you. I hope today that you're able to get clarity. And I hope today that you're willing to upgrade your flashlight to your spotlight so that way you can have a better life tomorrow, the week after, month after, year after, and that way you can clearly see where you're going.